And we gotta.
They're
They can't
working
be
for
1099. They can't be contractors or anything like that. They have to.
If this really happened in real life.
I get it. I don't know.
What's good? What's good? What's good, everybody? What's good? This your boy JTL, aka Out from the Norm, back with another one. Before I get started, make sure y'all hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe if this is your first time showing up. So, I got a good show for y'all today. The reason why I titled it "Be a Man" and said it ain't my fault, because I'm seeing two different situations that they starting to come at the men. They starting to come at the brothers, and it's bothering. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's going from media, which we know media entertainment is a very, very strong source of a way to, I'm not going to say necessarily attack, but start an attack or start a mindset, if you will. And definitely political, because a lot of times we don't pay attention to what's going on politically, and certain things happen. And next thing we know, we look up like, what the hell is going on? So those are the two things I want to talk about, because right now we see that in the governor elections in Georgia, Stacey Abrams is trying to run again. And now they're starting to push this narrative that if brothers help by voting for her, she should win the election. And I'm sure it threw a lot of brothers off when they seen it as well. Now, I'm not in Georgia, but it still made me concerned for the brothers that's in Georgia. We got so many brothers that are trying to actually do some great things, but it's like they're getting overlooked. I mean, how can you expect somebody to just vote for you blindly just because you're black? What does that matter? So that's just as if the one brother, I forget his name, but he was over, I believe, Godfather's Pizza. If y'all know who I'm talking about. I forget his name at the moment, please excuse me. But he was over Godfather's Pizza. And he was supposed to run against Barack Obama. Now, everybody knows they were not trying to vote for this brother. We all know that. But, I mean, he was darker than Obama. So were we supposed to just vote for him because he's darker? Start being colorist in that mindset? I'm sure a lot of people have been like, why would you vote for him? And the sad thing is, let's say he had better policies than Obama had. But people like Obama better. So we would have voted for him. How would people have taken that mindset? So now, fast forward, we go to Stacey Abrams. We're talking about, oh, well, we need to vote for her because she's black. Nobody's saying nothing about the policies. They're only complaining that she's not going to get a vote by black men. Now, they brought up the fact that black men voted for Trump in large numbers, so we should be able to vote for her. Now, mind you, that was countrywide. And it wasn't by that many black men. More black men vote Democrat. Sadly, we need to be careful about that and actually start looking into policies. But I'm really proud of my brothers that we're actually trying to do stuff that makes sense now. A lot of times, like nowadays, if a brother hold his vote, that doesn't necessarily mean he's just not voting because he doesn't know any better. Nowadays, he might be holding his vote because he doesn't just want to give it away freely. And that doesn't necessarily mean we're going to go run to Republicans all the time. You got independent parties out there that we could be voted for. The only sad thing is they don't have the same marketing strategies or dollars to put themselves out there the same way that some of these other people do. So I really want to, kind of dive into this a little bit. And there's somebody who had the nerve to get on TV, MSNBC, as a matter of fact, to express what they think black men should do. Now, from my understanding, men are supposed to be the leaders, and women should come at men with respect. I mean, they want us to come at them with respect, a little bit more what you said, docile when we deal with women. I mean, it's not the way it used to be back in the day. So I guess we pretty much have to come at women in a way that speaks to them. But you would hope that they would return the favor. So I want to go ahead and let y'all check out this woman and what she had to say towards black men. So I guess we can go ahead and get started. To my fellas, hey, don't get too bothered. We just see it and then we just do our best to maneuver around it. Oh, and shout out to Death Note, Hermit Kane. You're right, it was Hermit Kane. Matter of fact, Death Note, let them know how you felt or thought. My apologies. What you thought on Hermit Kane while I go ahead and play this video, because would you have voted for Hermit Kane because he was darker than Obama? I know your answer, but go ahead and answer that. All right. But once again, like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and show this video, and it's gonna be kind of disturbing. You're gonna listen to the audio, okay? You know, it's gonna show the woman who said it. So y'all get ready for this nonsense, okay?
The midterm elections coming up. I want to turn to Georgia, which is on everyone's minds because less than 2 months out from the midterms. And at the center of the conversation among many, black men. That rarely happens. And I want to center black men today. Right now, we could be looking at a split ticket. Senator Raphael Warnock is leading in his race against Herschel Walker, but Stacey Abrams is behind Governor Kemp. Now, Abrams says if black men vote for her, she'll win. But the math ain't really math in there. And I know Roland has a lot of thoughts about that. I want to bring into the conversation Cliff Albright. He's the co-founder of Black Voters Matter Fund. And Terrence Woodbury, he's a Democratic pollster and CEO and founding partner of Hitch Strategies. Cliff, I do want to start with you since you're on ground there in Georgia. We'll get to the debate between Walker and Warnock in a second. But just being on ground there, Cliff, what do you make of that? Like, you know, are black men large in number enough to decide this race for Stacey Abrams? Or is this just a headline that's, you know, more yellow journalism and sensationalism than truth?
Yeah, good morning, Tiffany. Great to be here with you.
My apologies, y'all. Okay, so real quick, I just want to speak to some of what she just said. Okay, so I'm kind of wondering why they went directly to what black men need to do. It kind of bothered me a little bit. You know what I mean? When I first heard it, because there's so many demographics for Stacey Abrams to go after. So I'm just wondering what like preempted this strike to be the main focus, because you have the LGBT community, you have the white community, you have the Hispanic community. It's different communities there. So I was just wondering, like, Death Note or anybody else in the chat, since I see you, Death Note. But real quick, let me go to what Death Note had to say. You said he didn't, and also, my apologies, I'm looking for, okay, he said, I didn't like the policies of Herman Cain, and I am not a colorist. I respect that. But just wanted to know what some of you guys' thoughts was, you know, in the chat, what you thought about the whole situation around this, or what they said about black men. Because like I just stated, they have other communities that they can go after. So I was just wondering why they wanted to target black men. But there's a brother that's going to speak talking about certain things that black men have an issue with, but I don't think she's going to really actually care.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, black males, black men voters make up enough of a block where we can be a part of what the difference is. And we got to keep in mind we're talking about a state where in the presidential election in 20, the difference was famously those 11,700 votes that Trump was trying to find someplace. So in a situation like that, yeah, black men as a voting bloc can be a big part of the equation. And, whether or not they come out, we come out, black men in Georgia come out and support Stacey at the same rate that black women do is a legitimate question. Now certainly black men aren't going to bear the brunt of what happens in this election on their own, no more than black women should bear the brunt of it. Some white folks gonna have to wake up and actually do the right thing in the state if they wanted to move forward. But I think that it is smart to raise this issue because at the end of the day, and we hate to admit it, but there is some number of black men that will just refuse to vote. It's the sexism, it's the patriarchy that just refuse to vote for a woman, whether that woman is Stacey Abrams or whether it was Hillary Clinton in 16. And that's an issue that we have to address. Again, that's not the majority of us. It's not a plurality of us, but we have to address that, and we have to be willing to call that out and call it what it is.
Yeah. Well, Terrence, you're on ground doing work, doing polling there. And so I think Cliff raises a really good point, which I want to dig into. But Terrence, I want to ask you just for the math part, because I don't know that it's fair to lay this at the feet of black men and say, yeah, you guys cost us the election, because black men overwhelmingly vote Democratic. And so as a pollster, I'm curious your take on this conversation around black male voters in Georgia.
Yeah, thank you for that, Tiffany. The truth is that the Democratic support gap between men and women is not unique to black voters. There's a gender gap amongst all voters where men are more likely to vote conservative. Now, when you look at the math here, Stacey Abrams lost in 2018 by 55,000 votes. Had black men voted for Stacey Abrams at the same rate as black women, she would have had 120,000 more votes. So there is math there. The challenge is that since 2018, Republicans have doubled down on their efforts, coordinated and expensive investments, targeting black men, targeting men of color. And in 2020, we saw Donald Trump double his margins amongst black men in Georgia, a difference of 370,000 votes.
I struck. Pardon our technical difficulties, everybody. We'll be back up in just a moment.
My apologies, y'all. Having a little technical difficulties. I'm out here in Florida. We're kind of dealing with the weather a little bit, so my apologies. But I'm gonna do my best to make sure to keep the show going. Let me go ahead and pull back up the video for you guys. Please bear with me.
The midterm elections coming up. I want to turn to Georgia, which is on everyone's minds because less than 2 months out from the midterms, and at the center of the conversation among many black men. That rarely happens, and I want to center black men today. Right now,
the Democratic support.
Okay, so real quick, I'm going to speak where we had left off. So when they was talking about, well, at first it sounded like she was trying to say something that was respectful, and she was saying that, why should we lay this at the feet of black men as in that manner, which is a good way to try to be, what you call it, PC, politically correct. But we know she kind of has some thoughts and feelings on what she was saying and the way she wanted to come at the situation. So let me go to the comments real quick. Let me go to the chat. So Red had to say that, hold on, give me 1 second. My apologies, y'all. He said Stacey doesn't think she can shame other groups into voting for her. Wow. Okay. Okay. I can respect that. I definitely can respect that. So he's answering my one question. What do you think is the reason why she wanted to more so target the black men versus other communities? She know that when she comes to them, she has to show more respect. And that's a lot of times what we're saying when they try to sun somebody. Like if you look at the situation with Stephen A. Smith having to face off and go deal with Malika Andrews. I'm about to say her name. Somebody said Malika or whatever. I don't however you said. But she came in like, you need to stop. Like that was her child or something like that. And that's not how you talk to somebody. Like you trying to denigrate them and disrespect them. So let me go ahead and get back to the video real quick for y'all. Give me a second.
Support gap between men and women is not unique to Black voters. There's a gender gap amongst all voters where men are more likely to vote conservative. Now, when you look at the math here, Stacey Abrams lost in 2018 by 55,000 votes. Had Black men voted for Stacey Abrams at the same rate as Black women, she would have had 120,000 more votes. So there is math there. The challenge is that since 2018, Republicans have doubled down on their efforts, coordinated and expensive investments targeting Black men, targeting men of color. And in 2020, we saw Donald Trump double his margins amongst Black men in Georgia, a difference of 370,000 votes. The gap between Black men and Black women was the difference of 370,000 votes in Georgia.
Okay, I'm back, y'all. My apologies. Like I said, I'm down here in Florida, so we're having like these, dealing with the weather, all that stuff is going on. So it's been it's been a little difficult for everybody having to deal with the situation until the storm is actually past everyone. So my apologies about the internet, trying to keep it going. Def Note, where you at, brother? Yes, in the background still. All right, my apologies, everybody. But yeah, so when it comes to Stacey Abrams and what she's got going on, so you see everybody else trying to rally behind her, trying to, do what she's doing right now. It's crazy. Shout out. Got JBJ in the building. Come on up, brother. I see you background. Come on up. What's good, man?
You got me rolling over here right now, man. What's up, man? What's going on?
Technical difficulties, man.
Woo, Jesus. Fuck.
Technical difficulties.
I ain't gonna hold you, man. I ain't gonna hold you. What's the topic?
We was talking about Stacey Abrams. So I may have to, just in case that happen again, I may have to just go ahead and send you the video in the background while I'm trying to play it.
Well, send me the link while you talking. Give me the topic again.
talking about Stacey Abrams saying that black men need to vote for her, or people are saying that black men need to talk for her.
So we need to vote for her in that Georgia election or something?
Yeah, so that way she can win. Because there was just talking about how last time if black men would have voted more black men, then she would have won the election. But I was just speaking on how, we wasn't trying to do that. We weren't going there.
Nah, man, Stacey Abrams is not a person to be voted for. First off, like right off the bat, she don't represent any of my values. Nah, man, Stacey Abrams is not a person to be. She don't represent any of my values when it comes to what I want my politician to be fighting for, pushing for, and stuff like that. Like she's all about this man. Look, she's just not even a good person. I'll just be honest with you. We talk about a lot of conniving, backstabbing, evil bitches around here. She one of them. I wouldn't vote for her. That bitch, man, please. I wouldn't vote for her. Now, what's she running up against? I wouldn't vote for that motherfucker either, though. Like, it's just not a good selection of candidates to be picking from. You got Brian Kemp. I remember his last election. This motherfucker had a boy in the house with a shotgun talking about, he's a good boy. I'm like, man, what the fuck are you talking about, bro?
I didn't see that one.
He had his daughter's boyfriend in there. He had a fucking shotgun. He's sitting on the couch talking about, this is my daughter's boyfriend. I'm like, nigga, what? Like, what's wrong with you?
I don't know. Was he black?
No, it was a white kid, man. I'm just saying, I like to say nigga, man. But
oh, okay. You had me worried. I was about to say, I know they ain't vote for him out there in Georgia. Well, they probably would. Some of them vote for him in Georgia.
Some of them would, man.
But I'm just saying, I know that ain't happening. All right, cool. I'm just.
But I wouldn't vote for neither. Yeah, I wouldn't vote for neither one of them. They're two terrible candidates. I don't even know how Stacey Abrams is still in politics. She lost her election, man. Gone somewhere else, but she running again. She wanted to claim all that voter fraud. Like, she'll be the first person to sit over here and talk shit about Donald Trump not conceding his election when this bitch didn't even concede her election last time. Like, they're both terrible candidates. So. But for her to sit around and for the news to sit around and try to blame black men for if she loses, hell nah. You should blame the person. Look, boo-boo, you're the one that's supposed to be out here getting votes. So if you don't get the votes, don't blame me for not getting my vote. Blame yourself. Blame yourself. You couldn't get my vote. You should ask yourself, why couldn't you get my vote? It's the same thing in relationships. Ask yourself, lady, why can't you get that man? Don't be over here sitting talking about it's his fault. No, maybe you wasn't gonna give him what he wanted.
And don't forget that Red said something good in the chat.
What he said?
She can't go bully any other group of people, so she's trying it with black men.
Oh, she can definitely, man, especially in the public media. Like, that's what get me all the time. These black ladies be sitting around talking about we're the most oppressed in this country, and no, you not. Look to your brother and your daddy and your uncle and your cousins. They are more oppressed than you, boo. Like, this country done did a number on them, and then you want to jump on top of their head too because they ain't doing what the fuck you want them to do. We've been letting women pick what the fuck we should be doing in the black community for how many fucking years? How many decades? Look where we at, motherfucker. Goddamn, it ain't like the black men been leading this community. Once Martin Luther King them died, all them folks was gone. Bro, we ain't really had no black male leadership in the black community.
Far in between. I mean, that's what they try to say about as a whole, but it's like every time we have brothers like you just named that's at the top of the mountain, they make sure to do whatever they got to do to tear them down. Even from the street level, they tear them down. Take their lives and throw them in prison like Larry Hoover for the rest of his life.
Hey, I got a good one for you. I got a good one for you before you keep going. It's amazing to me. And I don't get why a lot of ladies don't wake up to this shit. Because every group, every race is led by their men. They don't think it's kind of weird that the federal government, who told you was 2/3 a human being and all this shit, enslaved you for so many years, with your black men, but y'all ladies too. They fucking they don't think it's weird that the government empowered them. They don't think it's weird that the government put out subsidies and things for them. They don't get why they did that. It's the wage war between both of us. And they sitting around here talking shit about black men because we see that shit. They wonder why some of them dudes went to the Republican Party. Why you think? Take a wild guess. But that's all I had. I'm sorry.
I got a quick question for you then, if that's the case. Why do you think black men started falling for it first? Or did we fall for it, the banana in the tailpipe first?
For the what? For what part?
getting in bed with the government, trying to be politicians and things of that nature. You know, we did it first. So playing devil's advocate, why do you think we did it? Because you already know a black woman gonna say, "Well, y'all did it first, just like y'all married white women first."
Man, look, see, that be the shit that get me right there, because they always keep talking about black men. The only thing they march for is like the right to marry white women. Is that what you referring to?
Hell no, I ain't referring to that.
Okay, I'm about to say. I'm about to say, man, I hate that.
I refer to that as a joke, but you know what I mean. Like, if you saying that for us getting empowered, then what about us trying to get empowered first? Because Frederick Douglass, once we was able to start voting, I forget the white lady name, but the white feminists back then had a problem with that, saying, "No, you shouldn't accept it unless your women can vote. All women can vote too," which would have been her and her white constituents, if you want to call them that. So what's your thoughts on that if somebody says that to you?
Man, I'll look at them like they're crazy. Like, he go, white men, well, he go, first it was white men that only own property that could vote. Then it became all white men could vote. Then it was, yeah, y'all black males can vote. Then it went to the white women and the black women and everybody else, so on and so forth. So I'm like, I ain't got no smoke for that. I I just look at them like, okay. It's like, we didn't take the government. We didn't take the government and turn our backs on our women, though. That's my biggest thing. Like, if they said that to me, I'm like, we didn't turn our backs and use the government as a weapon against our men. Like, whatever the hell they got, because I haven't looked into that. Whatever the black men got for aligning with the government during whatever time it supposedly was, it ain't nowhere near as bad as what the fuck these women have done. Like, shit, we still had families during that time when black men aligned with the government, right?
Mm-hmm. Damn sure.
Okay. I'm about to say, man, we ain't got no families no more, so I don't know if what they did back in the day is worse than what the fuck's been going on for the last, I don't know, what, 30, 40, 50 years? My entire lifetime easily. But yeah, that's all I got on that.
No, that's a great point, because I was gonna say, actually, where if you think that we did it first and we're handling it worse and now y'all got to do better, I would say then learn from our mistakes. Shit. Whatever you think that we did wrong, try not to do the same thing and make it worse. So if we messed up first, and if y'all mess up now, guess who it hurts at the end of the day? Our children. Which is basically under attack right now, because guess what? They don't want regular boys to be regular boys and regular girls to be regular girls no more.
Yeah, they said fuck them kids a long time ago. I'm sorry I'm being cold with it, but like, for real, man, I see ladies all the time talking about fuck them kids, man. Like, they don't be giving a fuck, man. I don't.
Did you get the I sent that link to you into the IG group chat.
To the IG? Oh man, I was looking for that, man. I thought you sent it to my phone, man.
I'm trying to make it easier because you can pull it from the computer, right?
You talking about this shit that's on screen right now?
Yeah, that shit.
All right, where you want me to start it at? You want me to just play it from the beginning?
Go, yeah, right there where you see the polls at.
The polls.
My apologies, guys. Y'all bear with me. Once again, like I said, I'm down here in Florida dealing with this hurricane weather, so please bear with me.
You better stop blaming that shit on the goddamn hurricane.
Hey, it's winning.
Whatever works. So here you go. Just let me know you want me to play that shit right now, or you got anything you need to say beforehand?
No, go ahead and play it.
Warnock is leading in his race against Herschel Walker, but Stacey Abrams is behind Governor Kemp. Now, Abrams says if black men vote for her, she'll win. But the math ain't really math in there. And I know Roland has a lot of thoughts about that. I want to bring into the conversation Cliff Albright. He's the co-founder of Black Voters Matter Fund. And Terrence Woodbury, he's a Democratic pollster and CEO and founding partner of Hitch Strategies. Cliff, I do want to start with you since you're on ground there in Georgia. We'll get to the debate between Walker and Warnock in a second. But just being on ground there, Cliff, what do you make of that? Like, are black men large in number enough to decide this race for Stacey Abrams? Or is this just a headline that's, more yellow journalism and sensationalism than truth?
Yeah, good morning, Tiffany. Great to be here with you. Obviously, black men voters make up enough of a block where we can be a part of what the difference is. And we got to keep in mind we're talking about a state where in the presidential election in 20, the difference was famously those 11,700 votes that Trump was trying to find someplace. So in a situation like that, yeah, black men as a voting bloc can be a big part of the equation. And, you know, whether or not they come out, we come out, black men in Georgia come out and support Stacey at the same rate that black women do, is a legitimate question. You know, now certainly black men aren't going to bear the brunt of what happens in this election on their own, no more than black women should bear the brunt of it. You know, some white folks gonna have to wake up and actually do the right thing in the state if they wanted to move forward. But I think that it is smart to raise this issue, because at the end of the day, and you know, we hate to admit it, but there is some number of black men that will just refuse to vote. It's the sexism, it's the patriarchy that just refuse to vote for a woman, whether that woman is Stacey Abrams or whether it was Hillary Clinton in 16. And that's an issue that we have to address. Again, that's not the majority of us. It's not a plurality of us, but we have to address that, and we have to be willing to call that out and call it what it is.
Yeah. Well, Terrence, you're on ground doing work, doing polling there. And so I think Cliff raises a really good point, which I want to dig into. But Terrence, I want to ask you just for the math part, because I don't know that it's fair to lay this at the feet of black men and say, yeah, you guys cost us the election, because black men overwhelmingly vote Democratic. And so as a pollster, I'm curious your take on this conversation around black male voters in Georgia.
Hey, can we say something about that first guy first? The first dude that said something? I'm not the host, so you know I gotta ask.
Nah, you know you good, man. Go ahead. I heard you getting frustrated over there.
Yeah, man, that dude's moist as hell, man. I don't know what that fat fuck was over there talking about, bro. Like I'm sorry, y'all. I've been a little angry lately, but man, I don't know what the fuck that fat fuck over there talking about. Talking about, you know, the patriarchy and misogyny and who the fuck are you talking to, dude? You trying to put all these tropes on us, but you know it's only a small group of them. You know, if it's a small group, keep that shit to your goddamn self. Then, like, I don't like look, boo boo. I know that what is this MSNBC? Typical, but
yeah, but they didn't used to really go at us like that. Like we never mattered. All the years I've been watching MSNBC, they never said anything about us when it came to political. I mean, bad, because when it comes to voting time, that's when they talk about all black people.
Right.
That's about it.
Yeah, and now they're noticing, especially with the Trump era or the Trump movement or whatever the fuck you want to call it, the phenomenon. Black men had already been voting conservative anyways for years, way before him. But they didn't see that shift, that many of them shift to start voting conservative. Not even just in presidential elections, but Senate races, House of Congress, regular state elections. They starting to see it. So now they want to try to, now we're going to call y'all out. Y'all motherfuckers ain't giving no fuck when we was over here writing on the Democratic Party for y'all every time. And we still write for them in a majority. So I'm talking about, bitch, they already put y'all on the pedestal above you, man, above your men. And you still over here punching down? Like, what the fuck? Y'all said y'all got it, strong, independent, don't need no man. Fuck you talking to me for?
Yeah, I can tell you've been mad lately.
Yeah, man. Fuck them. I
can tell you've been a little irritated.
Man, you motherfuckers some certified bitches, man.
But you got a great point, because he didn't say anything about certain policies that we may have a problem with. He didn't say anything about the issues that we're facing and dealing with. He didn't speak about any of those things, and we're just supposed to jump up and run over and vote. Oh, they said vote for Stacey. Oh, they said vote for Herman Cain. Oh, they said, who does that? And so now they're the ones that tell us who we work for. Exactly. What else would we be as men versus paying attention to saying, well, what are the men focusing? Okay, they being more conservative now. I wonder why. Let's have them on there, talk to them about it. No, we're gonna talk about them. You gotta run a video unless you got something else to say.
Yeah, I was going to grab the other video. Let me goddamn break down. Oh, this magazine. Okay, Dad. Yeah, here we go. Goddamn, clicking on screens and shit. No, not that one. That one.
Yeah, thank you for that, Tiffany. You know, The truth is that the Democrats.
And ain't this nigga Sudanese, bro? You don't get You don't need to be talking in that shit, bro. You don't. This ain't your fight, bro.
Democratic support gap between men and women is not unique to Black voters. There's a gender gap amongst all voters where men are more likely to vote conservative. Now, when you look at the math here, Stacey Abrams lost in 2018 by 55,000 votes. Had Black men voted for Stacey Abrams at the same rate as Black women, she would have had 120,000 more votes. So there is math there. The challenge is that since 2018, Republicans have doubled down on their efforts, coordinated and expensive investments targeting Black men, targeting men of color. And in 2020, we saw Donald Trump double his margins amongst Black men in Georgia, a difference of 370,000 votes. The gap between Black men and Black women was the difference of 370,000 votes in Georgia. And so we do have to close that gap. And while that is not unique to Black men, and we see that gap amongst all men of color, the difference with Black men is that they were Democratic voters. These were Obama voters. And some would argue that they were only Obama voters. They were never, in fact, Democratic voters. And that is where Democrats have work to do to prove that since 2020, they have made progress on the issues that matter most to Black men, and that they have a plan for Black men moving forward.
All right, so
clearly fucking not, because if that was the case, they would be voting for you. Like, am I off on that one? Host of the show?
No, I totally agree. And did you call him Sudanese? Are you sure, or you just looking at his shirt?
I'm just looking at him. I don't know if he's from Sudan, Ethiopia, or something like that, but he ain't from the United States. Like, he ain't got, his ethnicity doesn't show United States. He could be first generation or something like that, but he look like Sudan, Ethiopia.
So look at you stereotyping somebody.
Hey, stereotyping. I'm trying to figure out which country he from. Like, y'all motherfuckers listen to me talking, be like, yeah, he from Alabama.
Dave Chappelle, if Dave Chappelle was from Alabama, gotcha.
God damn. But you wanted to keep playing that shit? You wanted to hear Rolling?
Yeah, go ahead and play. Let's go to Rolling Moist.
Cliff mentioned Hillary Clinton. Terrence talked about Obama. We have to take this thing back a decade. Mm-hmm. Okay, why am I wearing this shirt? It's my alpha shirt. First of all, we vote, but here's why. Black men are the second most loyal voting bloc of the Democratic Party. Who's number one? Black women. Mm-hmm. So let's just be real clear who Black men are voting for. In 2012, there was a 9-point gap between Black men and Black women, Obama-Romney. So people try to make this out to be about totally sexism. That's not true. There were 2 men running and Black men. Black men were not happy with Obama. They felt he should have done more because on the issue of economics, on criminal justice, and things along those lines. And so what then happens? You go to 16, now it's a 13-point gap. You go to 20, now it expands. But here's a race people ignore, and Terrence knows this as well. Tom Tillis, the architect of voter suppression in North Carolina, was getting around 18% as well. Why? Because Democrats were ignoring that constituency. Black women also organized and mobilized to force the Democratic Party to pay more attention to them. In many cases, Black men within the party have not actually done that. So what you're seeing are Black men who are saying, you're not paying attention to me. You're ignoring what's happening when it comes to economics. You're ignoring me when it comes to the critical issues. And so what the Democratic Party has not done is create a specific strategy to target those individuals because it comes down to numbers. Warnock beat Kelly Loeffler by less than 100,000 votes. And so you're the Democratic Party and you're just ignoring these numbers. What did Terrence just say? You are ignoring the potential to win. You should be trying to get every vote. And I'm just going to go ahead and put it out here because someone has to say it. The fundamental problem with the Democratic Party is that white strategists are controlling the money, are controlling the strategy. Yeah. Yes, African Americans are having input, but if you're trying to win, you better listen to Black people. You better fund these initiatives. Otherwise, you're going to lose, and that gap is going to widen.
And fund candidates. Quick, Jay. Fund candidates.
See, that's why it's good that I was joking about Roland, but that's why it's good that she had Roland on there because he actually breaks this stuff down all the time. And I used to be an avid watcher of his show on YouTube that he has now, just his show. And he's always breaking down the numbers. But it was always about black people together. He made it talk to black women's issues, black men's issues, but he always put them together. So the fact that they wouldn't even focus on the things that we need. That's just like Obama actually did start losing the votes by the second round when he was running for the second term, because he still wasn't doing certain things that we wanted done. And that's another thing. Maybe you remember this. We had another issue where it seemed like that the first term was like a lot of people was trying to punk Obama, and he was just taking it. And we was really bothered by that. Like, it was one white reporter, I think he was getting on his plane or something, and he was talking, and the way she just disrespected him, he just took it. The way the Republicans was doing him when he tried to bring forth votes and different bills and stuff, it was like they just kept punking him, and he wasn't really fighting back. So that's another thing brothers didn't like. As a black man, like he the first black president. As a man, that's what he's going to deal with. So we're not dealing with economic issues like we needed you, jobs, dealing with us just having the education and that we need. You tried my Brothers Keepers initiative. Didn't seem to like it was really working for our community. It's so many things, and black man was like, forget that. Like,
the Brothers Keeper was just a talking point. It wasn't really a fucking program. They didn't have any federal funding behind it.
No, it's supposed to be something philanthropic.
Yeah, it's like we talking about this now. Y'all put y'all money into it. If he was gonna do it, he should have had government funded money going into those initiatives. It was just a fucking talking point. Hey, y'all donate to this, man, and we'll try to spend some money on it and put it somewhere. I feel what you're talking about.
Yeah. Real quick, let me see. Go to chats. Last time I was doing this, that the band at the bottom was in the way for me seeing. So I want to go to the last one. Well, starting with the last one that I seen with.
I'm about to say it come in front of it.
Okay, yeah. Last time, but that's that weather. There's no
weather. You talk about the weather, man.
Y'all see how they pick on us over here, Florida, man? He's nasty, something another. All right, Death Note said the poll in here shows her trailing significantly when it comes to black men. When it comes to the dynamics of men versus women, shame is their go-to. I feel you on that. I feel you on that one. Also, it said we are not voting for women because the ones they gave us as options are terrible candidates. When you have to turn to talking points, you already lost. And then we got Red Illusion. He says terrible candidate equals Republicans' fault somehow. that's real. It's the Republicans are doing something wrong. He also said, did Jay's extension cord survive the storm? Jay, you want to answer that? No answer, Jay? All right. I guess Jay walked off like he always do. Red also says she has Soros bucks. She's not leaving politics. Yeah. I don't know. She able to fall in the background. There's always some kind of work that could be done. I mean, maybe she can go be alderman or something like that. I don't know. Also, he says, hold on, my bad. Looking at the wrong thing. All right, there we go. Death Note says he looked like House of House, but successful. That boy's stupid. And Red Illusion says House of Had. Damn shame. All right, Jay, you there so we can go ahead and start the video back, my brother? Jay, going once, going twice. See how it's hard to find good help these days, guys. It's hard to find good help these days. Jay, where you at, brother? Jay, what the hell,
Yes.
man?
What the hell are you talking about? I was cooking. I wasn't even supposed to be on this show tonight. What we doing?
What was supposed to let me know you gonna walk up, man? I'm calling you for like a whole minute.
Why you kept calling me?
They hit play, fool.
Well, obviously, if I wasn't there after you called me the first time, you just keep on talking. But ready to play?
Nigga. Yeah, go ahead, play.
Instead of meddling around in Republican elections, trying to put one over the other.
If my camera off, I ain't right here.
Fun candidates also off year.
Okay, now you tell me
you can't come talk to black men in the middle of September.
Yeah.
Election is November. And I called it. They should have been doing this in January after Biden got inaugurated to build up a program so when elections come, now you properly prep.
Yeah. And invest in black media, brother. We know that.
Black-owned media, not
media.
black-targeted.
Black-owned media.
Absolutely.
Cliff, listen, I think Roland made a really legitimate point here. I will say, you know, a lot of black men sometimes feel like they're ignored or they're put down, particularly sometimes even by black women in the media. So this is not that. But I do hear Roland's point that felt ignored. But you feel ignored, and then you go over to the other side. The oppressed feel oppressed. So then you go and try to align with the oppressor. So I'm not putting black men down, but sometimes it's like, well, some of you Kevin Samuels following Tariq Nasheed quoting people, please look at the truth and see what's happening and get in line with some of the black women. Is majority, like he said, vote Democrat, but that margin of people who can be plucked away from your people and go advance policies that harm your people, I just don't understand that.
Yeah, and you've got three things that wind up happening.
Hold on now, you know we can't just let that shit slide right there. You got to pause that. We just can't. That's one of the main reasons why I picked this video right here.
Look, man, hey, I'll touch on one quick one that she said. The last part talking about policies. We gonna get behind a group of people that put out policies that hurt our community. You talking about like this LGBTQ shit? That shit ain't hurting our fucking community. You talking about all this feminism shit? That ain't hurting our community? What the fuck they doing over there they ain't always did? And we were doing pretty good under that bullshit for a while, getting better. But now, what are you talking about, lady? Like, what are you talking about? I'm not saying I agree with all Republican Party policies, and I don't agree with all Democratic policies. But for you to sit here and act like the Democrat Party has been doing something amazing for black men, you out your motherfucking mind. You out your motherfucking mind. That's all I had on that.
We know here in the South, right?
Man, y'all something else down there. Y'all ain't really the South. Y'all a little weird down there in Florida.
Historically, we know that the Democratic Party was the oppressor in the South. Historically, we know that. So to say we're oppressed, but we're running to the oppressor, if we're going to go off history, then we shouldn't be dealing with any party.
Zero.
We should have our own party or just not fuck with the government, period, if we're going to go there. And I'm glad you said that, the point that you made. And then don't forget, what about abortions?
Oh, yeah. Forgot to rope that in there, too.
That's the Democrats are running off that, as well as Stacey Abrams is running off that as well. So
I don't even know why the fuck they running off of. What, you gonna change the state laws? She not even running for a state, like a real state position. She can't change the fucking laws. She can be like, she can try to put pressure on people. But bitch, you running for Senate. Like, you can't even change the law in your state.
It just blows my mind how some black females will say the stupidest shit and don't even realize it and not get corrected. That's why I wish Roland would have correct. Hurry up. That's why I wish Roland Martin would have corrected her. For her to sit there and say some nonsense like that is a headache to guys who have intelligence. It's punching down, like Jay said a moment ago. Okay, so if we're gonna talk about the whole oppression thing, we want to play the victim Olympics card, then why do we not try to build our own and do our own thing? To say that when historically there has been situations, and let's keep it real, dealing with conservatives and being Republican, you might actually find more opportunities than worry about handouts when you're Democrats. Because the sad thing with us as black people when we deal with Democrats, we blindly give our votes and hope there will be a change. Blindly. We don't call people to task like we're supposed to when we give our votes to Democrats. So for the guys that's actually going over there to be Republicans, more than likely are actually working towards doing something. They're actually seeing policies that benefit them in the way they need for those benefits to come along. That's what people do generally that vote Republican. It's not the same thing. We're weak cattle and sheep when we run over there to Democrats. But for some reason, when we go to Republicans, we get back educated on policies and things of that nature. So are we really impressed by making our own decision instead of running with the party that has been helping to tear our communities up? If you look, every time we look at, and this is something, last point, we go back and play the video, but generally speaking, when we look at our predominant black communities that are Democrat ran, how do they look? That's all I want y'all to think about. All right, Jay, you go ahead and play the video.
As Roland mentioned, his Alpha Phi Alpha shirt, you know, we've got a program where we reach out to Divine Nine, and AFI has been one of the organizations that was most aggressive at getting involved, like answering the call and reaching out to black men to mobilize voters back in 20 and 21, and we expect to do the same this year. But, you know, to your question, you see 2 or 3 different possible responses when you've got this issue about black men and to what extent we feel ignored and to what extent the candidates in the party are addressing our issues. One is that we just stay home, right, which is what you were kind of talking about. The other is that we actually come out and we vote for the opponent who we know isn't doing us any good, right? In this case, that would be voting for Kemp. But there's this other option, and that's what some of these polls are getting at, is that you see some that are like, oh yeah, I'm gonna come out, I'm gonna vote for Warnock. But in that gubernatorial race, oh, I'm not really feeling Stacey Abrams or Kemp, right? And some of them will be honest. I've been in conversations with men, and some of it is faith-based. I've been in conversations with brothers that say, I just don't think a woman should be governor, right? I don't think a black woman should be governor. I don't think they were meant to be. I have had that conversation. But then you also get this other conversation from somebody who's like, oh, I don't know what it is about, you know, it's just something, you know, and they won't just come out and say what the issue is. So I think part of this is on the candidates to address our issues. And Stacey Abrams has a piece of her platform that specifically speaks to issues that black men care about. Roland mentioned a couple of them. And we care about economic stability, entrepreneurialism, all that. We care about police violence. So she has that in her agenda, but part of this isn't, we have to be honest, isn't going to be about her and her efforts and her policy to address our issues. There's a conversation that we've got to have.
All right. That was a video with Tiffany Cross, the pretenderness, not feminist. Man. So Jay, without snapping, what's your opinion on what the guy had to say last? The last guy had to say.
Nah, I mean, ain't no lie, man. I tuned out on that dude probably like a sentence in. I was like, yeah, I don't give a fuck about none of that shit you talking about, dude. Like, I ain't even bullshit. I know that's wrong because we supposed to be reporting on this shit and we supposed to be giving our opinion about it. I tuned out on that dude, man. Like,
he technically said the same bullshit though. He came back saying that. Then you saw Tiffany Cross's face. Black man. And it's feeding the narrative. He's trying to come in with this white knight shit instead of just sticking to the policies and trying to do low blows. And actually, that's why I stopped watching MSNBC, Fox, and also CNN. What is the other one? CNN, right? Because it became too much of that, especially with Don Lemon. Like, oh my God, it became too much sassiness instead of y'all reporting the news and actually doing real journalism. Being disrespectful, talking in undertones as if somebody's stupid and can't comprehend something. And instead of really reporting the news, they're just reporting how they feel about it. You're supposed to be professional. You went to college all these years for it. You work your way up to the ranks to be on TV and get a position of power. And that's what you're doing. You're only doing it with feelings. And I'm glad I stopped paying attention to this years ago. That's when Romney and Obama was running. Me and my older brother, we used to watch it all the time, and then I just got this vibe like, you know what, you need to stop watching this because all they're doing is talking about trying to size up somebody's character, and you don't even know these people personally. You're just sizing up their character and think that's what we're supposed to vote by. It's more than that, and you can hold people accountable when you understand actually what it comes to politics and things of that nature. And I just couldn't take it anymore. I couldn't take it anymore. It was too much bullshit going on. Let me go to the chat real quick. Oh, okay, we got a couple of people coming in. I hope I'm able to catch up. All right, so we got the People's Podcast in the building. What's good with you, Israel? He said all black men need to write in Kevin Samuels this cycle. All right. Then we got Red Illusion. He says Don Lemon just got humiliated on climate change. I'm about to check that out. And then we got Raz Girl in the building. What's good with your Raz Girl? So Jay,
oh shit, I thought you died over there.
Oh no, my bad. I'm over here coughing. I need a cough drop.
Man, you should have said something. I got one right here.
Yeah, throw it from Alabama to Florida. Let's see how good that worked.
I hope you caught it.
Yeah, nah, I ain't catching that. Alabama shit. You got some orange shit with gnats on it. All right, so God. You got the article ready?
Yep.
All right. So this right here, talking about the race of Kemp and Stacey Abrams. I wanted to actually let's actually go back and forth and see what they're talking about. All right. So it says a breakdown of how Brian Kemp and Stacey Abrams differ on key issues. So let's talk about some of these issues. Go ahead and scroll up for me, brother. All right. Go down a little bit because it starts the no, don't, you ain't gotta blow it up too much. All right, bring it to the right. There we go. All right. So when it talks about environment, Kemp believes local communities should decide their own environmental regulations. Does not include detailed plans in his campaign for preventive measures against climate change. Whereas Abrams plans to strengthen environmental protections, create about 45,000 high-wage jobs in the alternative energy sector. What's your opinion on that, Jay?
Let's see. Can't believe local community decide. That sounds good about that. About giving them the ability to decide what happens in their neighborhood, their community. But he does not include any detailed plans in his campaign, so he's just talking out the side of his fucking neck.
Oh, let them handle that.
Yeah. And then Abrams said plans to strengthen environmental protections. Look, man, I'm one of the people that believe that we do have an impact on the fucking climate. I know a lot of people don't think we do, but I think we do as human beings. We do a lot of fucking shit. We're amazing. And it'll create 45,000. Okay, look, I would just need to know the numbers. Like, I need to get those 45,000 high wage paying jobs. I would need to get that in writing that we need to see how this shit's gonna get created. But I would agree with most of her shit. But both of them, like, he would have to prove, like, you got to give me some details, bro. And then Boo Boo, I need some details too, because I can get down with local communities being able to decide their own environmental shit.
Yeah, I can agree with that. It's usually it's more deep, like what we have to really pay attention to the details. And I can appreciate what you said, because when it comes to that and it says doesn't have any real plans for it, kind of seems like all right, we want to let the people decide. It sounds like some hand me all bullshit. All right, go ahead. We're gonna look at immigration. Let's see what they're talking about on immigration. Okay, says supports creating a comprehensive database to track criminal aliens in Georgia, wants to deport undocumented immigrants, wants to ban sanctuary cities in Georgia. Whereas Abrams says against the Trump administration's family separations and supports a pathway to citizenship for undocumented people. What you think about that?
It's a tough one. That one puts you on the fence, man. Put you on the fence.
Why?
Look, I believe that we should protect our border, but I also understand that there are a lot of jobs in America that we need these people to work. So, like, if there's somebody that's criminal, yeah, go ahead and lock. I'm with them on the first part. A comprehensive database to track criminal aliens in Georgia. I'm with you on that. Deport them motherfuckers when they commit a crime. I'm with you on that. I'm not with the deport all undocumented immigrants. I'm not with that one. Like, look, they commit a crime, kick them the fuck out. But if they're contributing to our society, don't kick them out. They can't. Like, first off, you undocumented. You either got to get some dead person's goddamn social and all that shit, and that's the only way you can even try to possibly pull benefits. But they're not going to be pulling from the government as much as they're putting into it. So, and then we need them to work these fucking jobs. So I'm not with that second part. And then ban sanctuary cities. Like, dude, y'all keep talking about small government, but then you want to put a whole ban over the entire state. Like, come on now. Like, which one is it going to be? So I believe each city and each fucking town should have their own jurisdiction to make the laws in their section that they want. And then the federal government and state laws come atop of them. But, you know, and then when it comes to Abrams, she's just basically against the Trump administration family separation and supports a pathway to citizenship for undocumented. Look, everything that I said up there, if it goes anything against Trump's administration, whatever parts I didn't agree with, take them out. And then the parts that I said I agree with, leave them in there. And then, yeah, they should have a way to be able to become a citizen. Like, these people, if they're going to be over here working jobs and contributing to our GDP, like, you should give them a chance. Like, I don't care what, 10, 15, 20 years without getting in trouble, some shit like that, give them citizenship.
Okay, so would you say 2 out of 2 on that you would give to Abrams right now?
Yeah, I say so. Yeah, you can go with that.
Okay, let's go down to healthcare.
All right, let's go down to healthcare.
All right. Kemp opposes expanding Medicaid, supports increasing rural hospital tax credit programs, supports having toughest abortion restrictions in U.S. Abrams supports the expansion of Medicaid, which would ensure 500,000 more Georgians, save rural hospitals, and generate 56,000 new jobs. Opposes further abortion restrictions. What's your thoughts on that?
Why you keep making me go first? You don't want to go first?
I'm just, you a black man. I just want to see if she have good policies or not.
Okay, opposing
or policies that she's saying she would inflict.
Okay, opposing expanding Medicare for Kemp. I'm not for that. They need to expand Medicare. I mean Medicaid. Like, I don't know what the fuck he talking about. Support increasing rural hospital tax credit programs. I'm with you on that. Supporting having toughest abortion restriction in the U.S. I'm not with that. Even though I am against abortion, I'm not with that. And then when it comes to Abrams, support the expansion of Medicaid, blah, 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 ensuring that all them people in boom savings, okay, and generating jobs. I need to see the numbers on this, that you're going to generate these jobs. I am for expanding Medicaid. And then oppose further abortion restrictions. I don't know why the fuck he won't get on board with that. You see what she's saying? Like, if you look at what she's actually saying, she's opposed to any further abortion restrictions. So whatever the hell they got on the books in Georgia, she cool with it. And I know Georgia was one of the first states, one of the states that was in that boot. They're like, nope, no abortion, no abortions. Kemp should get behind that, but I'm not with I'm for what she's talking about on this one more than anything. But I still need to see the numbers on the people that will be insured and the jobs that will be generated. But I am with him for supporting rural hospitals' tax credit.
Yeah, boy, it sounds like you gave her 3 out of 3.
Yeah, the bitch ain't finna do none of this shit.
You gave her 3 out of 3. All right, let's go to the next one. See,
you ain't saying nothing about none of this shit. All right.
No, I just want to get your opinion on it. I just want to see is it her or her policies that we're not fucking with. All right, man, medical marijuana. Kemp opposes the decriminalization of marijuana. Ooh. Supports a small expansion of the Georgia medical marijuana program. Opposes legislation that would allow marijuana to be grown legally in state. Whereas Abrams supports the growth of marijuana in state for medicinal purposes and decriminalization of some marijuana offenses. supports fines rather than jail time for small amounts of marijuana. What do you think?
All right, he obviously lost me with the decriminalization of marijuana. He wants to he will support a small expansion of medical marijuana. That's gonna be people that's in pocket with him. Opposition to legislation that would allow, like, dude, if you can grow the shit in your state, like, see, that's be the shit that get me. Like, for all the people that have a negative view on marijuana, these same motherfuckers been smoke marijuana. Like, y'all know this shit ain't no gateway drug like they used to say it all the time. Like, they need to stop playing with that. So what he's talking about in his shit is like, hey, the only one that I could probably get on board with is the supporting the small expansion. But I know it's gonna be people that's in his pocket, in his inner circle. So I can't really get down with nothing that he's talking about. She said support the growth of marijuana in state for medicinal purposes and decriminalization of some marijuana offenses. Little boo-boo. I can't get with you on that because that's too ambiguous. If you talking about, okay, look, as long as they not moving like the cartel out here and like trafficking kilos of cocaine around this bitch. Like, look, dude, the dude got a quarter, dude got all the way up to 3 ounces on him. He should be fine. Anything above that, honestly, an ounce should be all you really fucking need. That you could say that, look, I just bought this shit, I'm going home with it or whatever the fuck. But I'll say 3 ounces just be nice. And talking about criminalize some marijuana offenses. That's too vague. And then she says supports fines rather than jail time for small amounts of marijuana. There should be nothing in it. Nobody should be fined for marijuana. I can't get down with either one of them on their shit, bro. I'll just be with you right there. I don't like neither one of their stances on marijuana in Georgia.
Okay.
They just know it's a cash cow. They know they can get people on. They know a lot of people smoke marijuana, and they know that white people smoke marijuana more than black people. But you see who they lock up for the shit majority of the time. They know it's a cash cow.
Do you think we're moving more? Let me not say more with it because you gonna fuck with me. Who do you think we're fucking up at a higher rate in the way we move with marijuana?
Who? Us as what? Black people?
Yeah, because I mean, when I'm on the north side driving, I don't smell marijuana in the air, but when I'm on my side of town, I smell weed.
Well, hell, the same way that people, I will say this. The same way that you treat drinking and driving, you can treat smoking and driving. Motherfucking black folks be stupid, bro. I just don't understand that shit when they sit there. Like, I would never ride in the car. I do not ride in the car with marijuana on me. It's not fucking happening. It's not happening.
As well as smoking it.
Or smoking it. It's not going to be in the car, period. That's just the dumbest shit to catch a felony on. Like, that's the dumbest shit. I'll be looking at folks like you will be at a light and you could smell the motherfucker in front of you smoking. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with this person? Like, you dummy. Because if I was a cop, I would pull you. Like, no bullshit. I would pull you over because you know it's illegal. Everybody knows it. Even little kids know this shit illegal. Now, I say you should legalize it, but I would still pull their ass over for fucking... If he gonna legalize it, you can still get your traffic tickets because they driving under the influence. Chop it up to the game. Because all this shit is about money, but they on some bullshit with this drug shit, bro. Marijuana is not shit, bro. You worse off popping them pills y'all be giving all these motherfuckers, all them opioid pills y'all be giving out. That's way worse than marijuana. They just know they can lock certain people up. It's a drug that they have been okay over time locking up a certain demographic of people for. So they keeping that same bullshit going. I'm not with either one of them on their marijuana policies. They both stupid. They both goofy.
Okay, so that's 3 out of 4 for Stacey. All right, let's go to this one I know it's going to be important to you. Gun control and campus carry. Kemp says supports constitutional carry, which would allow concealed carry for handgun owners without a permit, supports campus carry, and ending gun-free zones. Abrams says supports universal background checks, repealing campus carry, and extreme risk protection orders. As well, supports investing in mental health services and community programs to limit violence. What do you think about those?
I'm with Kemp on the first one. Support constitutional carry. I believe that's... There you go. We're going to talk about rights, motherfucker. I shouldn't have to pay a tax to goddamn exercise my right there. Put my shit underneath my shirt just in case some shit pop off. Because, people don't understand The government understands why conceal is actually a good thing to have. You don't want people to know what the fuck you have because then they can plan ahead for doing something against you. Somebody run up into my job and they think everything's sweet. Like, bro, I might look like just a dude over here in a Batman shirt or some shit. Man, I'm up on your ass. You better get the fuck up out of here. So I'm with him on the first one. Supports campus carry and in the free zone. I don't think them kids should be having guns on school campus, man. Like, I ain't even gonna bullshit with you.
Why?
Hell no. Kids are too fucking. We got grown ass adults that can't control their emotions. Why the fuck I'm gonna put a gun in the hand of an 18-year-old on a college campus? I don't trust them. I don't trust them little motherfuckers driving cars on the road.
Well, damn, didn't you start driving around 18?
Yeah, but I was a smart driver. I've never been in an accident in my life.
But that's bullshit. You can't be biased like that, bro.
No, I'm not being biased. I'm not being biased. I said they already letting the kids drive on the road. I'm not saying that they shouldn't let kids drive on the road or nothing. But I'm saying carrying a deadly, they carrying a gun on college campus. I don't believe on any school grounds, none of the students should be carrying weapons. Now, can the teachers have guns to protect the school? I ain't gonna push back on you on that. First off, you need to have security anyways. Now, if you want to train teachers to be able to fucking defend the classroom and shit like that, I'm for that. But for the students, hell to the no. Hell to the no.
I don't know. I'd be worried one of the teachers are up on one of the students because they having a bad day or something and that student pissed them off. But
hey, maybe my thought. Look, I feel you on that. That could very possibly happen. But look, I don't think the students need to be having guns on campus. I know some people gonna disagree with me on that, but I don't give a fuck. And then support universal background checks, repeal campus carry and extreme risk. Yeah, I'm with her on that shit. And support. And look, man, this mental health shit, man. People just weak as fuck. But I guess so, man. They already spending money on that shit. So I guess she win that one right there. Because she got two, and I only give him one. But I am for constitutional carry.
Damn, so he only got what? 2 votes from you, and she got 4?
Nah, he ain't got more. He ain't got more than 2 from me. He said constitutional carry.
Marijuana.
I ain't with none of those. He ain't get none of that. Nobody got nothing off of that. I was with him on I was on the middle one with him with this one to support increase in rural hospitals. So that's 2 right there.
No, healthcare. You gave it to Abrams, remember?
Yeah, but I'm saying I thought we were going off of just policy. So when you count each section, you just count each section
because you got to think about on those on
total topic. Okay, just the total.
Yeah,
okay.
It's the total. You got total vote.
All right, well here you go. Education and hope.
Education and hope.
What the fuck is hope?
Hopefully they go say some good shit in here. So Kemp wants to preserve hope, wants to expand the Hope Career Grant Program, opposes letting undocumented students access the Hope Scholarship.
What the fuck is hope? Hey, we gonna have to ask Dev Note, man, because he from there.
Yeah. I don't remember hearing about the Hope. Death Note, educators. But Abrams says supports what she calls Hope 2.0, which would add a need-based component tied to a certain income level to Hope. Supports expanded access to the Hope Scholarship regardless of documentation status. It sounds like they pretty much on the same wave on both sides on that one. I can't even ask you what you think about, you don't even know what the hell they talking about.
I don't either, but the only thing you can really tell is he don't want to. Yeah, he don't want to let undocumented people get it, and then she says she wants to let people that ain't got undocumented people get it. That's the only difference between them. Okay. She wants to rename it. That's one thing for her. She wants to rename it, and it'll probably be the exact same fucking program, and then she might give undocumented people something. She's like, Hope 2.0? Like, it's the same fucking program. You just let undocumented people get it.
Gotcha. All right. Well, let me see. Is there anything else on there?
Nah, that was all of them.
Yep. So that was the basic ones right there. So, I mean, it looks like you went with Stacey overall, bro.
Who would vote for neither one of them dumb fucks?
What would you do? How
That would
would you
be a
handle
no
that
vote.
situation?
That would be a no vote for me. All the rest of the people that want to play around with that situation right there, they can have that. I understand some people say, "Man, you don't vote, you're wasting the vote," and all that. I'm not putting my vote behind either one. If I lived in Georgia, I don't live in fucking Georgia, but I wouldn't vote for either one of them. I know what I would do. I would go ahead and start getting, like, if I really cared about this election and what was going on in it, what I would have to start doing is like, okay, this election is coming up. So now we need to start doing some scouting. We need to start doing some recruiting around here, getting people together so we can find the next candidate to run against whoever the fuck wins this shit. And get that fucking candidate on the policies that we want, the things, the issues that we really want to address. I would go ahead and start scouring and trying to find that person, because what both of them are fucking representing, fuck them. Fuck them.
Well, break that down. What do you mean what both of them represent?
I can't get down 100% with any of the things that they said they were running on. None of that. Like, I couldn't get 100% behind any of it. Besides constitutional carry, I got 100% behind that, and I got 100% behind her with expanding Medicaid. Everything else was a toss-up, or it was a solid no. So, kind of torn in between the two. Like, I wouldn't vote for either one of those. Like, none of the issues where they're standing at right now would sway me either way, because I think they're both two shitty ass choices. So you want this palace shit, you want this palace shit. I'm like, man, they kind of look the same, man. Like, honestly, they kind of look the same. I kind of like that one. You got a Skittle on top of that one. That one got a gummy worm on it. Yeah, I don't know. Fuck now. I don't want either one of them. How about that? I don't want either one of them.
I like what you said though. Talking about going to find another candidate that would actually benefit us a lot better. Like, what does that process in your mind look like for you?
Well, you got to recruit talent. You got to get a team together. So first you're going to have people that we're going to have to figure out funding. It'll just be like, here, like, if we started a YouTube channel. We want to start a YouTube channel. First off, you got to have one person that has an idea. All right, we that person's got to figure out somewhat what they want to fucking do or whatever, and then it comes out to recruit. Now I got to get other people that can buy into my idea, that's willing to help me with doing this. Once I get the team together, then I can go out and start recruiting, start looking at different talent around me in the city, in the state, whatever the fuck, people that actually are talking about the same issues that I agree with, somebody that we could put up to be that running person. So then after we got that person, now we got to get funding for this person, and we got to start getting the word out about this person ahead of time. I'm talking about 4 years in advance. You just don't decide to run that year. You don't just decide to run the year before. This shit is long played out. Stacey Abrams, as soon as she lost, she was already planning on running again. She was already planning on running again. She was already campaigning and doing all that bullshit. That's why you seen when Trump got in office. As soon as he got in office, he would do White House shit, but then he was still campaigning. He was campaigning. He didn't get no fuck. Like, he took like maybe 1 or 2 years off, and then he got right back to campaigning for real. But we would have to start getting the word out about this person, start getting this person's name and face in people's minds and mouths. Like, no homo. And then you have to get it close to election time, and you have to build up funding because you're gonna need money for it. You're gonna need money, and you just got to build a presence, man. That's how I would do it. Kind of, sort of. Like, that's kind of vague too, though.
All right, y'all. I'm gonna read the comments, but
I'll be right back.
But I want y'all to do this. I'm gonna be catching up on the comments, guys. But I want y'all to go ahead and tell me what you think. Out of what we read for the policies or whatever they was talking about voting on. Who would y'all vote for? Would y'all go with Kemp or would y'all go with Abrams? Let me know in the comment section while I read the ones that you guys already posted. Catch up on that. All right. So let me see. Where we at? Cause y'all doing a little bit of a conversating up here. Red, man. Here you go with this bullshit. Jay still mad about Mr. Steal Your Girl last night. Keep your head up, champ. You stupid. Raz Girl just happened to say what's up to the brother Death Note. They having conversation back and forth. I ain't gonna really read what y'all saying to each other. All right. People's Podcast says, hold on, my bad, y'all. People's Podcast says, Op is a soldier reporting from the eye of the storm. Al Roker style. I know, right? Raz Girl said, "What up? What's good with you, Raz Girl?" People's Podcast said, "Well, I don't know. The boy it's still bothering my system over here. I see. Says they have committed a crime by entering the country illegally. All right. Then we got Red. He says, TDS. What does that mean? You must have said something crazy. That's why you put it in that manner. All right. Then he says, do it illegally. Do it legally. My bad. Then Red also says, gun-free zones. I don't know why I just stopped acting up on me. I'm over here looking like somebody else. Gun-free zones, yeah, because those definitely stop shootings. Laughing emoji. People Podcast says that Black men, we should be asking which policies benefit Black men as a group. And I think that's true. But sadly, it's like you can't hardly say anything these days. Like people have a problem with you actually voicing that opinion. But like we talk about all the time, we have to be stoic on that. You can't worry about how everybody else feels on that. We gotta be honest with ourselves. And they keep putting it on our shoulders, the pressure on our shoulders, then we gotta carry it that way. You gotta bring pressure with it. Red says, Hope is a scholarship program for typically low-income kids with 3.0 GPS plus. Oh, okay. I never really heard of that before. Okay, cool. And it says, Jay has the hots for Stacy. I ain't gonna even lie to you. I doubt that one. People's Podcast says, Wright and Kevin Samuels. We gotta see. And this one is for you, Jay. You back now? I know the screen's still off. I know how you move. You back?
Go ahead, man. What you got? What you got?
Red says, if you had to pick, dummy, out of those candidates, if you had no choice but to pick out of those two.
Well, see, that's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing. I mean, not having to answer that goddamn question. I'm not answering the question. that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, I'm not answering that goddamn question, man. Because I wouldn't even feel good with myself either way. Like either way, picking either one. Because I can justify it in my own head for like, yeah, I pick Brian Kemp, First Amendment and shit. Well, Second Amendment and shit, But then I think about the other shit that he got in there, and I'm like, make my dick get soft. And then I think about the shit she talking about, and I'm like, I can get behind some of this shit. And I'm like, not none of that other shit, bitch. I don't know what the fuck you talking about. I can't do it. I can't do it. Like that's really picking between two piles of shit. I can't do it. Well, I can do it, but I'm not. I'm not gonna do it. So yeah.
Gotcha. All right. People's Podcast says politics is a team sport. Black men must stop thinking as a group instead of individual. Did you mean to say that back the other way, Israel? All right, so Jay, you got that other video I had sent you? Cause we about to switch gears, but
no, I ain't got no other video. You sent me another video? God
damn, boy. You know you're my brother for life, right?
Man, fuck you. That's all I know, man. I swear for Lord Jesus, man.
Hey, you don't do that with the Lord's name now.
Man,
all right.
Yeah, read your comments, man.
It got two comments. Before you pull the video, I was gonna say something else anyway. Red Loser said Kemp because he's not a Marxist. We got Lexus in the building. What's good with you, Lexus? She came in talking nasty. She said, make your paws soft. Wow.
And she been sitting in the back just waiting. Look, she been sitting in the back. Soon as she heard that, yeah, let me go and write something real quick like that.
That's how you get the party started.
Man, that done, man. Fuck.
So real quick, just talking about both of those candidates, man. My main thing is us actually focusing on what we actually need as a collective, as Black men. Sometimes,
yeah, talk for a second.
Yeah, do what you do. Sometimes we got to kind of, damn, how do we put this? Sometimes you have to think of the bigger picture. You know what I mean? And it seems like Stacey doesn't have terrible policies that she's talking about, but it's still something that's missing, that's not connecting. It seems more like the trickle down effect from what we've read so far. It's not saying something that's directly for Black men. It's not saying something even for Black women. It's not saying things that are directly for Black women as well. Everything is the trickle down effect. Then we got Tiffany Cross or whatever her name is talking about Black men just need to get in line. That's another thing. The whole condescending tone and the disrespect. Brothers getting tired of it. We've been fed up actually, and there's a lot of things that we have to focus on together as a collective. And bringing up the one more point, the way that Roland Martin said Black men are not mobilizing as much, but when we look at what Ice Cube tried to do, O'Shea. What he tried to do with the contract for Black America, he was the first people that went off on him was Black women. They didn't really talk to him as if they had respect for him as a man or somebody that's a peer within their industry. Even though, I mean, well, you know, he's one of the top peers, but they didn't show him that much respect, even though what he was talking about. And I read through that plan that he put together with him and Dr. Claude Anderson. I seen some real things in there, but he had no problem people coming together and try to actually, you know, coordinate what would be better together. We didn't really give him a chance on that. A lot of people were highly upset. They didn't give a damn. But that's what we have to face a lot of times. And I see now we have to do our own thing as a people. And for the Black women that really respect and appreciate and follow the leadership of Black men who have good sense, I ain't saying all 100%, you know, we got the Pookies and Ray Rays out there, and you got some females following them like blind sheep. But for the Black men that are actually trying to do something, we got to get that in, we got to get that together. So I want to go ahead before we pull up this video. Let me see what y'all said in the comments real quick. Alexis said correct. All right, so this next thing, I'm pretty much done with the Stacey Abrams thing and all her followers and stuff trying to disrespect Black men. So on this next one, another thing that I want to break up a point when we're talking about just be a man and say it ain't my fault. Is this damn Woman King flop? Okay? We ain't feeling that. Now, Black Panther, I like. It was a good movie. I know it's just a made up story pretty much, you know, talking about Wakanda and all that. Rest in peace to the brother Chad Boswick. Did a great job in that movie, as well as the parts he played on Civil War and other parts of the Marvel movies, Endgame and stuff like that. But you know, for guys, we watch comic books. I mean, we read comic books coming up, so we know about the Marvel, we know about the DCs, we know about them, so we appreciate it. But this right here, the Woman King, I don't know what the hell this was. I mean, like the cinematic part of it looked pretty good, you know, it looked pretty decent. But it's just where my mind frame is today, and all the other fellas, y'all can speak to this in the chat. Where my mind frame is today, it's not the same. You know, maybe I'll say 10 years ago, right, 8 years ago, so like that, I would have like, all right, yeah, cool, I go check it out. But now my mind frame is totally different. I'm not liking to see so much masculine energy from our sisters. I'm not feeling that no more. And the reason being is because we've been fighting each other within that frame so much. Now I got some homegirls that, you know, live the alternative lifestyle and good peoples, but even with them, it's not all that energy trying to compete so much. More so, the women that are supposed to be heterosexual are being more competitive in their nature. So I'm getting tired of seeing this. And then they got Viola Davis, who is actually a pretty good actress. I give her credit. She's a pretty good actress. But I'm not feeling it. I'm just not feeling this movie. Trying to go see this. All right. I'm not feeling it. So we got some people that actually did a reaction to the Woman King and some of the things that's being said. Jay, you back? See how this joker do? He just walk off. He over there.
I told you I was cooking, sir. It's not my show night. Like, damn, it ain't my.
What you over there burning on the stove?
I'm not telling y'all nothing, man. What we doing?
You over there making them damn noodles again, ain't you?
Nope. What y'all doing, man? What we doing?
We about to
ready
go
for the second video.
Just about. Hold on, let me go to the comments real quick. Let me knock them out because I want to build up on me again. Red Illusion was speaking to last thing I talked about. Q was demonized because he actually sat at the table instead of complaining. Yeah, I feel you on that. Lexi said that's correct. People podcast said there is a paradigm shift happening. Black men must seize the moment. Black women's contempt cannot go unchecked. Right in KS. And then Alexis says, since I brought up Black Panther, Chad played some great Black people: Jackie Robinson, James Brown, T. Marshall. Chad had a great catalog. Yeah, he did. Rest in peace to the brother. So, all right. So now, Jay, we're going to go ahead and have you play this video of this guy talking about what he thinks about the Woman King.
There are a lot of suspicious things that continue to crop up around this new film that just came out this past weekend called The Woman King, a film that its starring lead, Viola Davis, says that if you don't go support, you are a terrible person. And in fact, yes, a racist. We know exactly how this continues to go. This is something that she said just last week. Viola Davis says the audiences who don't see The Woman King are supporting the narrative that Black women cannot lead the box office globally, which no one is saying that except for you and your Hollywood overlords who are telling you this narrative. So it's very, very silly. But then she went on to say this just a couple days ago as well. Like I said, if you don't plop down money on opening weekend, you're not going to see Black females leading a movie again. Again, everyone. This will never, ever happen ever again in the history of the world if you don't go see this movie, The Woman King, a revisionist history movie. There's a lot of strange things happening with everything from the Rotten Tomatoes scores. As you can see here, it continues to just be one thing after another where pretty much all of the reviews are these 5-star reviews from the verified audiences. It's very interesting that now they have this verified audience thing where, basically it's very easy for them to manipulate things if they wanted to. But you have all these verified audience scores that are basically just one-line things that are very similar. Action-packed, believable characters, a must-see, exclamation point, 5 stars. Amazing movie, a must-see, exclamation point, 5 stars. And it goes on and on and on. As you can see, this is just something that we continue to see. It's just like all the reviews are very much this way, which is very, very strange. And there's a lot of people that are basically saying, yeah, it definitely is very suspicious. If you go look at everywhere across the internet, there are people that are like, yeah, there's something that doesn't seem right about this. But currently sits at 99% on Rotten Tomatoes from audiences, which doesn't make any sense whatsoever. The writer for this show for this movie is definitely an interesting person, to put it lightly. So if you go and look at her like on Twitter, she has all these crazy posts about how terrible white men are and everything else. My old white man relatives are still saying this to me. That's not gonna happen. Old white men grimacing and yelling like Brett Kavanaugh. These white conservative bitches. And then she just goes on and on and on. That's all that she's just like completely losing her mind all the time about this. Old white men. Defy them and fight them. Sounds like a little bit of a call to questionable activities there from the writer of this movie. Call it a woke civil war. The Viola Davis star vehicle, The Woman King, has topped the North American box office on its debut weekend, even as online activists called for a boycott over the film's blatant whitewashing of an African tribe's participation in the transatlantic slave trade. But, all of that aside, it somehow still got a perfect score. Like I said, this doesn't make any sense whatsoever, okay? This is a score that you never see. Some of the greatest movies we've ever had don't have scores like this. I bet you if you look at The Godfather, I bet you doesn't have a score like this. Let me look it up real quick, actually. Let's look up The Godfather Part 2 here and see what the score is. 97% for The Godfather Part 2. The Godfather Part 2 doesn't even have a 99% from audiences. Yet somehow this Woman King film does. Literally makes no sense whatsoever. But anyway, Critics have awarded The Woman King with 94% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, hailing its fresh female perspective and its timely message of women empowerment to own their own bodies. And with a $19 million gross, the film ranked #1 at the box office and earned an A+ cinema score from viewers, which literally means nothing in a weekend where literally nothing else came out. Like it doesn't mean anything at all. So woke social media users, however, brutally trashed the film for overlooking the fact that the Dahomey tribe it glorifies had a dubious history of selling slaves to Europeans, promoting the hashtag boycott Woman King. Even the far left Slate had to call the makers out on it. The Dahomey had fierce female fighters. They also sold people overseas, which is true. But that doesn't matter. All that matters is the narrative, and this is exactly what Hollywood continues to do. They take stories that we love. They take history now, freaking history, and they are reinterpreting it and hijacking it so that they can tell it in the new woke narrative that they want to push out there. They're doing it with history. Well, we've seen this happening with history for a while with critical race theory and everything else, but it's happening with history. It's happening with stories that we love, like Lord of the Rings and Star Wars and everything else. This is the game that Hollywood is playing. And it's a very malicious and sinister game that they are playing. As historian Robert Law notes, Dahomey emerged as a key player in the trafficking of West Africans between the 1680s and early 1700s. And it goes on and on and on, talking about how basically it was eradicated by the British. But the Dahomey warriors, and there's a lot of people on Twitter that are not happy about this. People from across the board, woke people, conservatives, whatever else. Everyone is not happy with this movie. Yet somehow this movie has a 99% on Rotten Tomatoes. Very weird. The Dahomey warriors were not just slave traders. They would take all the young, healthy people, murder the elderly and disabled, and burn down everything left in the village. So this is something that this is funny. Let's be honest, folks. It's a movie about an African tribe famous for selling slaves to Europeans that was made into a female empowerment story by 2 white women writers. You don't have to be very woke to see the problem here. And these are the writers right here. So there's a lot of problems with this, and there's a lot of suspicious things that are continuing to happen with this film. But let me know what you think about all this in comments below. Leave a like, subscribe, and I'll talk to you all in another video very soon. There are a lot of suspicious things that can...
All right. Okay. Gonna pretty much keep this one short and sweet. We about to wrap up shortly anyways. So Jake can get back to cooking his possum meal over there he grilling. The crazy thing with this is that they're going to the sign language to try to bait everybody into going to watch this movie. Trying to say that if you don't go watch the movie, there will be no more lead black actresses. Maybe a lot of black people in general, I'm not going to just put this on black women, but maybe a lot of black people in general should start creating your own shit anyways. Now, I get it. It's not that cheap to try to get all these movie theaters and all of that. But guess what? We have streaming nowadays. So instead of trying to get Massa to help your ass, won't you make your own shit? You got Dame Dash that has a streaming platform over there. Why ain't nobody going over there to try to work with that, brother? Make your own films, put it on the platforms. You can do films really affordable nowadays. You got Tyler Perry Studios. You can go over there and get and rent his studios and use that. We keep trying to run to the masses to try to make them do something. If you think they don't want to do nothing, trying to virtue signal or shame somebody is not the way to get it done. People have things going on in their life. Not everybody want to go watch a damn movie when it comes out. Me personally, I wouldn't even want to go to the movies no more. After this pandemic, I don't want to sit around a bunch of people in some chairs that you know damn well they ain't cleaning as soon as somebody get up. I want to be around a bunch of people coughing, and I don't want to be around that no more. So to try to shame somebody to go to see this crap, get out of here. If I ever catch it, I'll catch it when it comes on the streaming site. But the fact that trying to make somebody feel bad to go watch this movie by making it a race issue or making it a gender war issue is what I have a problem with. Now I know, like I said earlier, black man, yeah, we'll watch some Chad. We'll watch Black Panther and all that. If a movie is good, brothers are gonna go watch it. And all I'm saying is, If they come out and try to diss us for that shit, go ahead, fellas. Tell them it ain't your fault. They spent $50 million to make the movie. First week made about $18 million. Second week made about 11. So now, if I'm not mistaken, they're just a little over 30 million. I don't know what they was trying to accomplish here. Then you had 2 white people that made the movie and went to Viola Davis to get it done. She did it. They got other sisters. Hella masculine looking sisters. But I want y'all to think about something on that. If they're so wrong, then why do you keep falling for the banana in the tailpipe? Because if you notice, when it comes to the white women that are so warriors, they still stay feminine looking. If you look at, I think it's Captain Marvel, if I'm not mistaken, she still look feminine. You look at Salt. If you look at Tomb Raider, these women able to still kick ass, but they still look feminine. They still keep them like. Well, it's funny. How come when white women are heroes, they still wear makeup, but when black women are heroes, they lift weights out in the yard? Like this is like y'all falling for it. And I know a lot of our sisters want to get inclusion. I get it, but the only inclusion we need is our families. And to my fellas out there, the only thing that we can do and the only thing we can do focus is getting ourselves right, having a network of brothers that we work together with, and look for or pay attention to the women that are going to follow your plan, follow your lead. Don't break your neck for it, because some women may not be worthy. But that's what we need to focus on, because I'm not feeling this. I'm not going to even jump into it too much. But let me go to the chat real quick. All right. People's Podcast said, good. We don't want it to happen again. Viola is resulting to sign language. Yeah, I couldn't even believe she actually jumped on Twitter and did that. And they try to say black Twitter. Just because a black person tweets something don't mean it's black Twitter. It don't exist. Red Loser said the audience score is 6 out of 10 on IMDb. Then also he says, I can't wait for the sequel, The Man Queen. Who they gonna get to play it? Don Lemon? All right. Then Alexis says, I've heard from a lot of people it was good. However, the true story doesn't sit well with me. And why them ninjas over there are not my ninjas. Well, hey, when you hear about the actual true story and them being a large part of, like, around 20-something%, almost 25%, and then now the white women switched it to these are the heroes and they're trying to fight against it. That ain't the damn truth. That was not the truth at all. Lexus also says, excuse me. I know you ain't freezing up on me. Is you over there? What we got going on? Hold on. My bad, y'all. This weather. Lastly, it further pushes the narrative of the dark-skinned female being masculine. Thank you. That's what I was just saying. That's another thing that gets on my nerves. It's beautiful women. It's beautiful. We got beautiful sisters, but then they make them so masculine. Like the one part of the scene or the trailer where they had the spears in each other. Where you had the big brother who was probably like 6'4" or something like that, looked like he weighed about 220, bulky. You know what I mean? And then you had the little woman that was smaller than him. Now, I mean, she still was masculine, but she made him fold. Come on, bruh. Really? You mean a warrior against a warrior, a man warrior against a woman warrior. He bigger and stronger, but you're gonna try to tell me her will is stronger than him. All right. Then Alexis says, nope. That's why I have a projector. Yeah, I wait. If I decide to see it, I'm not going to go to the movies. I'm sorry. Red Illusion also said the story is a white woman's fantasy. No wonder it's historically inaccurate. Thank you. To me, the white women that put it together and wrote it and try to redact it and change it to something else, re-envision it. Those are the white liberal women who want to fight against their fathers, their husbands, their brothers, uncles, and all of that stuff. because as you seen the gentleman show earlier, he was talking trash, talking about fight against white men. What? Rebuke them. Like, they ain't doing nothing to you. They ain't even bothering you. She was over there in damn Africa when she wrote the damn script. What are you talking about? Ain't nobody bothering you. You get to run freely as you want to. The problem is you think you should have more power than you actually have. You're not a man. So what you do, you use our sisters, make them into men, and make them be like your German shepherds to fight you. And the same thing, and this is what sisters got to pay attention to. They're going to do the same thing to you that they did to all of us with the civil rights movement. They're going to jump down with you, get you to fight for them, get you to use the numbers, and then they're going to jump in front of you like they always do. All the stuff that we fight for, the civil rights for us black families and black people, now for some reason white women get more privileges and more things passed that's for them than we do. And we started that shit. But if a lot of black women that want to go for it, go ahead, fall for the banana in the tailpipe. I'm going to keep saying that. And then we got People's Podcast. He said, Man Queen will star Transpired. And then Red Illusion says, in reality, the men were sold into slavery and the French wiped them out in a day. Guess we got to tell a story about it. So, Jay, we about to go ahead and wrap this show up, man. I don't want to hold you up too much over there. I know you got that raccoon on the stove grilling. What's your thoughts real quick on the Woman King? Because like I was trying to tell you, it's a flop, bro. They're going to have to make at least $150 million to actually see profit.
Once again, I still don't agree with you on that. And I honestly don't care about the movie. I understand that they're depicting the story the wrong way. I get that. And if that's the people that are pushing back on it just for historical shit, I can understand that argument. I can understand it still pushing the feminism shit. I can understand the people that argue that point. The money part, they're going to make their money, man. That's why I disagree with you. They're going to make their money off that movie. They're going to make back more than what they put into it.
How long do you think it's going to take for them to actually make profit?
See, the sad part is I don't think you calculating it right. That's why I told you I disagree with.
Go ahead.
I'm saying when it comes down, I'm not going to break this shit down. I'm not going to break this shit down.
No, I'm just saying your point real quick. Just what do you mean with how I'm calculating is wrong?
I'm just telling you that they're going to make, my honest opinion, they're going to make more than what they invested into this movie. They're going to make a net. They're going to net some money off of this movie. Because like you think about it, you're going to have they're going to sell t-shirts. They're going to sell DVDs. They still do that dumb shit for some fucking reason. They're going to make most of their money from the streaming services on top of getting their money from the movies. They're going to make their money, man.
I think they'll break even, but I don't think they're going to make profit.
Honestly, that's where we at. I think they're going to make a profit. You think they're going to break even. I think you was kind of like, the make even. I think you more that they're going to lose money on it.
I mean, technically, they're going to lose money because, first of all we know is the budget was $50 million to make it. We don't know how much money they spent to actually market it.
And so see, that's where we disagreed again. Oh, yeah, either way, though.
They could have spent at least $100 million to make and market. So, if anything, I think they'll break even. But by the time, I would say that's going to be one of those other movies that's going to go to streaming services and DVD quick. I think in the next month or two, it's going to already be on DVD and streaming sites. So I think it's going to actually take them a year or two to actually break even. That's just my opinion.
All right. If it's important to you, let us know when we find out when they break even.
Oh yeah, I'm going to keep up with it because we're going to still hear about this a little bit more, especially with the controversy. Viola Davis getting on there talking about y'all need to put your money where you on the movie.
She ain't shut her ugly ass up, man. She ain't shut her ugly ass up. She should have never took that movie. Honestly, if you really want to get down to it, that's what the people should have been saying. She should have never took that role. True. She did it for the money. Even if somebody even advised her, because most actors try to find out the history about this shit. She probably found out the history and was like, yeah, still do it for the money. Depicting your people in a bad light. And then telling a lie about them, like, I guess she was like, okay, well, I guess we're gonna make the tribe seem like a good tribe now, and look how strong the women are. That ain't what it was, boo. That ain't what it was.
Yeah. I mean, maybe she did, or maybe she could have just went blindly willing because she was gonna be a lead actress and didn't
They don't
even pay
never do
attention
that.
to nothing but what they was told.
They don't never do that, man. Think about it, man. Yo, she played the goddamn what's her name off of DC? Amanda Waller or whatever the fuck her name is. The bitch that always be trying to fuck up with Batman and got the Suicide Squad and all these mother. She played that role. You know the bitch had to go do some.
Okay.
You know she does research on her shit. Like what woman would know about that character?
The woman that's getting paid money to go act out that character. Well,
Same thing, Woman King.
I get you.
That's what I think most people should be arguing against, though. Like, why would she even take that role? Like, a lot of black people always argue about being depicted so badly in certain movies, but then we still got black people that go take them fucking roles. Don't take the fucking roles, and they can't put the fucking movie out. We got to control our own image. Kevin used to say it all the time: control your own image. Motherfuckers need to get on board with control your own fucking image. Don't go do a fucking movie depicting some bullshit that you know ain't fucking real, and it kind of shines you in a fucked up light. Don't push a fucking agenda in this movie. But, you know, motherfucker want that money.
When does that movie Black Adam come out again?
Yeah, sometime soon. It's this year, I think. I think it's this year. I don't know.
If it's coming out anytime soon, I guarantee you, if they definitely gonna kick Woman King out of theater.
Oh, then it's not even that's not even a competition, though. It's not even a competition.
They gonna like, yeah, we need to move this shit out the way.
Nigga, Minions would outdo this goddamn movie. Minions.
I looked at all the movies that I'm trying to think. What movie it was one or two movies that came out. Was it or was it just that one? Actually, I think it was just that one. It was movies that was already out that was actually making more money. So,
well, if they was already out, they should be making more money.
Yeah, I think they knew what to do. They dropped it when nothing else was dropping. They thought that was gonna make a killing. That shit didn't work.
Oh, damn, I don't know, Red. I might take the money. Read your comments.
Yeah, I just see that one. Hold on, let me go. Where we at? All right. Okay, I read that last one with Red said. People's Podcast said in a few hours, and the French can beat nobody. Red Illusion says, yeah, this technical difficulties are motherfucker.
Hey, you want me to click on it for you, man?
Yeah. Pull that up for me, Jay.
You know, he's struggle clicking. He's struggle clicking. There you go.
All right, they're definitely not making the money they budgeted for. That's why they're faking reviews. Yeah, that's what I say.
I think they're faking reviews just to push the agenda to get people to watch it. I don't think it's all about money at the end of the day.
Yeah, I'm about to say it's both.
Yeah, it's money always intertwined. But yeah, keep going. There you go.
Lexi says they are not our people. I disagree, but you got your own thoughts on that. People's Podcast said the theaters aren't making money. Low foot traffic. They will start dropping this film soon. Of course, I'm telling you. Next one. The Transpires attempt even supporting this film. I mean, aren't. Ray Luger say Jay would star in the sequel for $10,000 and a pack of Newport. I mean, shit, he'll star in that bitch for 100 cans of OE and a carton of Newport.
You know how long it take to make a fucking movie? Y'all tripping.
No, it'll be like one of them short ones, like a 60-minute one. And you'll just
still take a long time, and you know how many reshoots you got to do for that shit? Hell no.
You'll just be in your house with the Woman King outfit on, fighting gnats.
You funny as hell. Something wrong with y'all. Y'all are gonna bust hell wide open, man.
Alexis said, side note, we watch a DC League of Super Pets.
Oh, Lord, girl. They always got something new coming out. They're making their money any way they can. DC League of Super Pets. Oh, my God. You got a Batman cat.
I would, too, to be honest. I guess he said
so he'll do it. So Red will do it for $10,000 in a pack of Newports.
Or 100 cans of Old English or Miller.
Whatever the hell he drink. Oh, shit.
That was it.
Oh yeah, you got one more comment. See, boom.
They will pay Jay and OE and pocket tanks. All right, so we about to go ahead, wrap this one up. Jay, I appreciate you assisting my brother, man, down here, man, fighting off this hurricane weather.
You ain't fighting off nothing, man. Y'all don't listen to this man down there, man.
It's getting better, thank God, you know, but it has been messing with my power stuff. See, Jay a nasty motherfucker, man. He a nasty motherfucker. He ain't gonna donate to the fund.
Hell nah. They should have, man, they fine. They got it. You live in Florida. You living by the beach, you got money. You good. You don't need no fucking money me donate to you. They got money down there.
All this because I made fun of your pocket shirt.
I ain't talking about you. I'm talking about the other people. The people that, you know, the beachfront people and all the people that got them condo houses and shit. They be the main ones talking about donate to us. Motherfucker, you good, bro. You better have flood insurance.
Not them. They know better than that because them the ones got the flood insurance. You actually, on no places, you got to get flood insurance when you move there.
Yeah, they got the money. They got the money, man. They good.
You got to.
But who you talking about? Which people you talking about donate to? What's their livelihood?
Like people like in Naples and Fort Myers and shit like that.
You talking about the people that live in the projects, or you talking about people that just got apartments and shit, or you talking about people like first home time buyers? What you talking about? Which demographic? Who I'm be donating to?
No, the people that actually, you know, were affected, like homes and stuff like that, when they had the 9 feet of water and all of that shit, like actual homes, not talking about rich people, you know, the people that's regular people.
You gotta have a little money if you buying a home. You gotta have a little money on you if you're buying a home. Even though your mortgage is cheaper than your rent.
Might be some Section 8 people. Might be some Section 8 people. Might be.
Nah,
you know what I'm saying?
They ain't got to pay for the house. They just got to replace all their bullshit that was in there. They on Section 8.
In time for them to actually do all that and be able to file and all, it's gonna take some time. They might just need some help, some volunteering. You can vote. You can volunteer as well. People can volunteer.
Ah man, you out there volunteering?
So I ain't got no way down there.
I thought you been in it. I thought technical difficulty you with.
Oh no, I'm saying thankfully we didn't get hit as bad as they did. That's the why I'm talking about those people. We didn't get hit as bad as they did.
Oh God.
But it is fucking with the internet though, boy. I tell you.
You said, boy, I tell you.
Hey, but man, I appreciate everybody that showed up, man. Sorry about the technical difficulties in the beginning. Shout out to my temporary co-host right there. Let's talk with JVJ, man. I like that sweater, man.
It's not a sweater, man. It's Under Armour.
Well, it look better than what you've been wearing the other time.
I just hate, man. I tried to work out a little bit today.
Except for that blue collar shirt you had on last week. That was.
You don't like that shirt? You don't like that shirt?
No, it was clean. The one you had, the blue collar one on last week you had on. It was actually.
Oh, you talking about that? You talking about that baby blue one? That baby blue polo?
Yeah, it was actually clean. I was like, look at my boy.
Oh man,
so with the Under Armour on, that you stepping your game up.
What the fuck are you talking about? I just don't wear certain shit on live streams. I wasn't planning on fucking being here, man.
So that's what. So you walk around the house looking clean, but you get on camera and
I don't walk around. Stop hating on my
Sophie shirts and shit like that.
This man hating on my fit when I be on the show. That be when I be clean, bro. This is a workout shirt, nigga. This is a workout shirt.
Flip it. You need to work out in them damn shirts with the pockets on them and wear this shit on your live.
I got an Under Armour that's got a pocket on it.
Oh, Lord.
Long sleeve. And I got my half zip. I got my half zip. I like the half zip. I think that's what they call half zips. I don't fucking know. Man, stop hating on my wardrobe, man.
I apologize. My bad. All right, y'all. We appreciate y'all coming to the live, man. Pay attention to what's going on when it comes to politics, my brothers, my fellas. Be careful about the media and all the bullshit they try to do with attack on men. They say that we ain't got to worry about nothing. And sadly, one day you'll look up and that shit is at your front damn door. So 8 p.m. every Thursday here on the JVJ network. Make sure you go to Out from the North 18 if you haven't yet and subscribe over there as well. Jay, you got your show tomorrow, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Tomorrow, 1 year anniversary, y'all. If y'all want to come through for that, It's gonna be over on Let's Talk JBJ though. If y'all want to come over there for that, I might get fucked up. But yeah,
Lord.
it's gonna be fun.
Don't do it.
It's gonna be fun.
If you do, leave your camera off the whole time.
Hell nah, it's gonna be a fun show. For
Festivus time.
Festivus time, man. And I'm gonna give out some tips, man, for people that want to start a YouTube channel and shit. I ain't giving all the tips, but I'm giving some tips. Like some people might be on the edge of starting. He give you some shit that might make you just take that leap and go ahead and do it. But yeah, it's gonna have a good time, man.
Jay also gonna be giving away a gift card, guys. So make sure y'all there for that.
I don't know what the fuck he lying for. I ain't giving y'all nothing. Y'all need to hit the Cash App. I don't know what's going on around here. I'm still trying to get there. I ain't got no gift card. We ain't got no sponsorships yet, man. No sponsorships. We getting there.
Yeah, he gonna give away a $20 gift card.
I don't know why he keeps saying that. There ain't no gift card gonna be there, y'all.
We about to get the hell up out of here, man. You already know how we do. Jay, you ready?
All right, catch y'all on the next one as always, man. Peace.
And we gotta.
They're working for $2.99. They can't be contractors or anything like that. They have to.
If this really happened in real life.
I get it. I don't know.